Hello children, let us start our 10th class portion, real numbers, mathematics first chapter I am doing. So before going to that, let us have a small practice, that is an explanation about a proverb. The proverb today what I have selected is practice what you preach. Preaching means giving suggestions or saying some good things that one should be like this, like that. If they are really towards some good path, we say that they are all not just words, they are some preachings. That means what? All those preachings will lead to a better life. The people who really follows the preachings, definitely they will prosper in their life. But the thing is, children, it's not only preaching. Preaching, whatever you are preaching, that you have to practice. That means you should have your own experience of what you are saying. With that experience, if you say, the value of the words, the value of the whatever the suggestions that you are giving, they increase a lot. So always you also should be in a good path, and you should give that suggestions and helping hand to the others for their prosperity. Now let us come back to the studies. Now we are going to talk about uh, this is about irrational numbers. We have completed rational numbers, children. Now this is Telangana State Syllabus, 10th class, real numbers, and in this topic we are going to talk about theorem 1.6. What does the theorem 1.6 says? Let P be a prime number. Let P be a prime number if P divides. If P divides a square, then P divides A. This is the theorem, children. Basing on this theorem only, we are going to do the next problems. This whole topic is dealing with irrational numbers. Irrational numbers. About it, we are talking about irrational numbers. So in this theorem 1.6, let P be a prime number if P divides a square, then P divides A. What is given to you, children? What is given is A is a positive integer. You can see in your textbook, children. I have not written, it is there. After this, in a bracket you have got. A is a positive integer. P is a prime number. What is RTP? You have to prove that if P divides a square, then P divides A. This is what you need to prove. Now when you are talking about the proof, you consider let the prime factors of A is equal to P1, P2, P3, so on up to Pn. Then what is A square, children? P1 into prime factors means you have to keep dots into P1 into P2 into P3, so on up to Pn whole square. What is given to you? P divides A. P divides A square. P divides A square. This is given to us. That means what? P divides A square means what you are getting? P1 into P2 into P3 so on Pn. Again P1 into P2 so on up to Pn. It is dividing. P divides this. That means what is this, children? P divides A square means this. This implies P divides, each one is A, no, children. So P divides A. Therefore, if P divides A square, then P divides A. What did we take? We have taken A as the factors, prime factors of A, P1, P2, P3, so on. P1 into P2 into P3, so on, up to Pn. A square means whole square. What is given to you? P divides A square. P divides A square means what? P divides P1, P2, P3, so on, up to Pn into P1 into P2 into P3, so on. That means what? This is A, no? So P divides A. This is what they have asked you to prove. So this is the proof of theorem 1.6, children. Find it out. Copy it. This is the proof. We have proved it. Next. Basing on this theorem, you have got a problem given. Let us see what is the problem. Do this. In page 15, you have got do this sum. What is this? Verify for P is equal to 2. You have got P value as 2, P value as 3, P value as 5 and P value as 7. For you have got the question, verify for A square is equal to 1, 4, 9, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81. So that property which we have done, the theorem, if P divides A square, P divides A, that they are asking to prove here. So first of all, let us take P is equal to 2. If P is equal to 2, what is that in this A square, this 2 divides, what are the numbers that are given? What are the numbers among this will be divided by 2? 2 divides 4 and 36 and 64. That means what? 4 means 2 square. 36 means 6 square. 64 means 8 square. 8 square. So 2 divides, therefore what you will say? 2 divides 2 square, 6 square, 8 square. That means you can take it as A square. What does this implies? 2 divides 2, 6, 8. That means A. Have we not got A square? When 2 is dividing A square, it is dividing A. We have proved it for P is equal to 2. Now, if you consider P is equal to 3, 3 divides, out of given values, 3 divides 9, then 36, then 81. That means 3 divides 3 square, 6 square, 9 square. That means 3 divides a square. What does this implies? 3 divides 3, 6, 9. So, if 3 divides a square, 3 divides a. So, the theorem is proved here. You copy this, children. First and second, I have done p is equal to 2, p is equal to 3. Now, we will go to the next part, that is p is equal to 5. P is equal to 5. So, in this case, what are the numbers that are divided by 5? 5 divides 25. Is there any number, children? Nothing. That means 5 divides 5 squared. 5 divides a square. This implies 5 divides 5. This is about 5, children. Now, when you go to P is equal to 7, 7 divides. What are the values here? 7 divides only 49. That means 7 divides 7 square. So A divides B square. What does this implies? 7 divides 7. So in this way you can prove this the theorem which you have learnt, children. If P is the prime factor of a number and if P divides A square, then definitely P divides A. So basing on this, our next problems are there, children. Copy this. Next. What is the next part? Let us see. Next part is in the same 15th page. You have to show a very important sum, children. 15th page. Example 7. Many a times asked question it is. What is it? Show that root 2 is irrational. Procedure, if you know, if they give any question, root 5, root 7, root 10, anything let them give, you can answer very easily. This you have to very clearly understand this. It's very important. So let us see, children. This problem, we are going to do it in an indirect method. What is that indirect method means what? The indirect method is the method in which we will assume that what is given in the problem is wrong. And we try to do that sum. Step by step, we will be going with that problem. At the end, during a conclusion, we will understand that our assumption is false. Then what is given is right. This kind of proof is called indirect proof. The normal proofs in your theorems, for example, the three angles, sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180. But you take what is given as it is and you will prove it. Those are all called direct methods. But assuming that what is given is false and working out for it, and at the end if you are not getting answer, accepting that our assumption is false and what is given is right, that procedure is called indirect proof. This indirect proof only we are going to follow here. Now, show that root 2 is irrational number. Let us see how are we proving. We are considering let root 2 is a rational number. See, children, he has given irrational, but we are considering it as rational. That means we are considering, assuming that what is given is wrong I'm taking it in another way. If it is not irrational, it should be rational only. What does this implies? Root 2 is equal to A by B, where A and B are co-primes. Means for children, the simplest form of the ratio. What does this mean by children? Root 2b is equal to A. I have sent this b here. Root 2b is equal to A on squaring both the sides. Root 2b whole square is equal to A square. That means 2b square is equal to A square. What do you mean by this, children? 2b square is equal to A square means b square is equal to A square by 2. What do you mean by this? A square by 2 is giving b square means 2 divides A square. What does this implies? When 2 divides A square, it implies 2 divides A. Just now we have discussed about the theorem. See children, when you are saying that 2 is dividing A, means what children? Just you have A, you are dividing it by 2. That means you will be getting some quotient and the same value and 0. Means what? What does this implies? 2 into C is equal to A. This into this plus this is A. Divides means definitely remainder is 0. So 2 into C should be equal to A. 2C is equal to A. Let me write it as 2C is equal to A. 2C is equal to A means on squaring both the sides, 2C whole square is equal to A square. What is A square, children? A square means 2B square. That means 4C square is equal to 2B square. Are you understanding? A square means 2B square. In the place of A square, I am writing 2B square. So what is C square? 2B square by 4. 2 1s are 2 2s are. So what are you getting? C square is equal to B square by, how much you are getting? C square is equal to B square by 2. That means what? 2 divides B square. What does this implies? 2 divides B. See children, you have got 2 divides A here, 2 divides B. What did we say? A and B are co-primes. Therefore, what we will say? Our assumption is false. Why is it false? I said A and B are co-primes. Co-primes means they don't have any common except one. But in this case, I am getting 2. 2 divides A and 2 divides B. So what am I saying? That 2 is also a common factor for A and B. Am I right in the sense? When I have said that A and B are co-primes, I should not get any other value as a common factor except 1. But in this case, I have got 2 as a common factor. That means what? What I thought is wrong. So our assumption is false. Therefore, root 2 is irrational. So, hence proved. This is a very, very important proof, children. Once again, I'll say root 2 is irrational, you have to prove. You are considering root 2 is a rational number. Rational number is pre-BQ form. So, I am taking root 2 is A by B, where A and B are co-primes. Co-primes in the sense what? They don't have any other common factor except 1. So, when I send B here, root 2b is equal to a. On squaring both the sides, root 2b whole square is a square. That is 2b square is equal to a square. Now, when you are considering it like this, b square is what? A square by 2. What do you mean by this? 2 divides a square. Means when you are dividing a square by 2, you are getting b square as the answer they are giving. That means what? 2 is dividing a square perfectly. So, we will say that 2 divides a square. If 2 is dividing a square, it means 2 divides a according to the theorem. If 2 divides a, I have explained to you children, 2 into something else is equal to a. On squaring this, you will be getting 4c square is equal to a square. A square in the sense what children? 2b square, I have taken that 2b square. So c square is equal to 2b square by 4. So I am getting b square by 2. B square by 2 means what? 2 divides b square. It means 2 divides b. If 2 is dividing b here and 2 is dividing a here, what am I understanding? That a and b are having another factor 2. But when I said that a and b are co-primes, I am not supposed to get any other factor except 1. I got 2 here. Why did I get it? Because I considered root 2 as a rational number. That means what I have understood? Yes, my assumption is false. I am not supposed to consider root 2 as a rational number. It is irrational. This is how you are proving it, children. Please go through it. Very, very important essay type question, children. They are sometimes changing the questions, root 5, root 7, like that they are giving. But whatever be the number, the whole procedure is this only. Instead of root 2, you will be keeping 5 if they ask, or 7, or 9, whatever. 9 they won't give, 11, something they will give like that. Prime numbers only they will give. So, this is the only method which you have to follow. Okay, children? I hope you have followed this. So with this, today's topic I wanted to stop. Next class, I will teach the next topic.